Alright guys, I am back and I am testing out a new microphone today. New sound system. Hopefully sound quality is a bit better, but we'll just see about that. You guys will tell me if you think that this video has better sound quality than we've had lately. So we're looking at a new brand, not new in the world, but new on this channel. It's relatively new compared to some other stuff. I'm going to tell you up front, it is made in China. It is a Chinese brand. It is a it is kind of more of a budget-friendly brand, but you know what? So some of the groups that I'm in, online, some of the forums and everything, they are full of some very knife snobby type guys. Some of them, and this brand, Petrified Fish, they have these knife snobby guys. They have said like, hey, you gotta check this out. You definitely gotta check it. Don't sleep on this brand. That's what they've said. So I felt like I had to get one and check it out and see what they have been talking about. So I have a Petrified Fish knife. A very interesting brand name there. Here's the packaging. No model number or anything like that on the box. This one came, like so much other stuff, came from Amazon. I just have this Kyoto from the last EDC Club unboxing right here, so I'll use that to... I love using a knife to open a knife. Now this is just, of course, one model that they have. And obviously I'll have... Are these extra screws? Oh, look at all the extra screws. Lots of extra screws. Okay. Very interesting that there's... Wow, this is a heavy clunker here. Very interesting that they don't give you, like, the model name and all that stuff on there. I picked this one because of, number one, I was looking around. I like the shape. I like the materials. It's got a kind of a different blade steel than a lot of the... kind of decent brands from China that we've seen lately. So I thought it would be nice to check out. But let's see. There was another one that I really wanted that was just not available at all. Wow, this is really nice actually. Anno clip and everything. This is foam around a bead. Yeah, foam around a bead to protect it. How they think this is foam stretch? Oh, that's pretty nice actually. Alright, so looking at this knife overall, it's nicely done. The finishing looks good. You've got that little fanciness on the pivot there, brandized and everything. So this comes in different colors. I chose the brown G10 just because it's something that I don't choose very often. I thought it'd be different. They're very specific in the listing though. They tell you everything. So we've got K110 blade steel. We'll talk about K110 when we get there. But they go even so far to tell you that the liners are 3CR13 steel. Now, normally, guys, I tell you 3CR13 is not a very good steel, blah, blah, blah. That's when we're talking about blade steel. For liners, I'm not concerned. That's fine. We don't need them to have edge retention and stuff like that. It's just interesting that they go ahead and tell you exactly what kind of steel the liners are made of, because most companies just don't do that. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but G10 backspacer, nicely done. Fit and finish on this thing looks really nice. It is a chunky knife, which I kind of like because I like to have some substance in my hand. I didn't know it was going to come with this little lanyard and this bead, which is a nice touch. This is a really interesting kind of cord. I don't know what it is. It's probably just some kind of nylon. And you've got kind of like a little monkey fist kind of sort of on it. I know that this is a titanium clip, I remember. Some nice bronze anodizing on it. This looks pretty good. Minimal hardware, but again, fit and finish. I mean, there is not a single edge that doesn't line up really nicely here. Centering on this thing is perfect. Let's get it opened up. Wow, really nicely done action there. Well, there we go. We've got a model number that we can look at. and then the K110 marking on the blade. Nice finish. So of course it comes with the microfiber, and there's a little bit of oil on here. So K110 steel. K110 is actually a Böhler steel, so it's a German steel, and it is very analogous to D2. However, it has some additives that make it much more corrosion resistant than your standard D2 steel. So what you end up with are the edge retaining properties of D2, the kind of toughness of D2, without your problems of susceptibility to corrosion and rust. Well, I should say with much less susceptibility to corrosion and rust that D2 has. So it's essentially a tool steel. It's a tool steel like D2 with the good properties of D2, with less of the bad properties of D2. So it's a very interesting, you know, I would say interesting EDC steel to have, because you're going to have a good edge that holds for a while. You know, it is if you can maintain an edge on D2, you can maintain an edge on K110, but you don't have to take the precautions around humidity and blade care and stuff that you would with D2, because it has those kind of, you know, added elements and stuff to it that help resist corrosion. So that's cool. I love the grind lines, the two-tone finish on this. So you've got the PVD coating on the black. My camera's not happy go shifting from one to the other, but you can see those beautiful satin grind lines on there. Okay, nice liner lock. It's nice and big. You can see we've got good lock up there, relatively early lock up. Very easy to get your finger there to unlock it. No stickiness at all. Great action. Nice detent. So even just a little bit, just a little tiny bit of force on that flipper and it goes. Nice drop point shape too. Comfortable, you know, because the clip is kind of flat. Ooh, that's actually not as bad as I thought. It's a nice clip in terms of retention. But it has a nice little bit of give too. Notice you can't do anything with the clip, so it is right hand tip up only all day long. But it's pretty comfortable. There are some hard angles there, though. I have to say that I might want to sand down a little bit and round off, because I can imagine if you're right there. That's if you're using this a lot, that's going to make a hot spot. That's going to hurt after a while. Mostly comfortable, but there are some angles that, you know, with all the other, the engineering in this looks so good, and it's just kind of hard to believe they just forgot about those areas. I might just want to buff down a little bit with a sanding stick or just some sandpaper or something. Jimping is good, could be a little bit better, could extend a little farther along the spine there, but I really like the look on the blade. We haven't tested it yet, obviously, but again, it is the contouring, the shaping of the handle, pretty comfortable, feels good, good for big hands. Action again is great though, and the thing is, you can there's no stress on your finger or your thumb deploying or closing. And it's got a nice sound, and let's face it, that's important. You want that. Let's check out this blade. Excellent. You see how little tiny curlies. Very, very nice. I like it. Perfect. Very clean. Let's give it a slice. Hardly even moves. Look at that, nice clean cut. And then a pull through. Again, nice clean cut, like nothing. This feels solid in my hand. I feel like, because you have some good thickness on that blade stock there too, I feel like even though this is intended as an EDC, based on the steel they give you and everything, and the solid feeling, I mean, no blade play at all, and the steel that they use, you might be able to use this, you know, as a hard use kind of guy too. I don't know, liner locks and hard use don't always go together, but you know, it's got a really solid feeling, and again, relatively wide, you know, blade stock for a knife in this category. And definitely a solid, good steel to use. I like it. I mean, it's my, again, first petrified fish, but out of the box anyway, it's a good, I mean, it's ticking all the boxes that I look for in a good knife. Price, not bad at all. I mean, not bad at all for what you're getting. Now, they do have some that are the traditional D2 that you would expect from like a, you know, a Chinese company. But they also have the K110 line, and they have some higher end steels too. I'm probably going to want to check out something in one of their stainless, you know, just see how that works out. But I'm going to want to do like more of a thorough, not just kind of a quick unboxing and review, but an actual test, a use test on this, to see how the heat treat holds up and how the K110 steel holds up and everything. It has, you know, sometimes you put a knife in your hand and you get a feeling like this is gonna be good, or just no, this is not. But this has a nice solid feel to it, and I feel like it's something I want to carry and I want to use. So I'm glad I checked out something from Petrified. You know, I've seen the brand, you know, online before, and I wasn't sure, but when snobby people who are all into showing off, like, you know, their Grimsmo Norsemen and stuff like that, are suddenly like, guys, you got to check out this budget brand on Amazon, you know, you take notice and you're like, yeah, okay, let me check one out. So I had to grab one and share it with you guys, my first impressions, my unboxing, and my quick review of it. We're gonna take it outside. Oh, I don't want to go outside. It's so cold. We're gonna take it outside. We're gonna put it through some paces and see exactly how this blade and how this edge holds up, because I think it's worth looking into. What do you guys think? Shout out to the Patreon team, because this little adventure here was funded directly by them. They are awesome, and probably when we're all done, this knife will end up in one of their hands. You know, depending on how much of a touch-up and refurbish I have to put it through. But anyway, thanks to them, they make a lot of what we see possible. What do you guys think? Anybody have experience with petrified fish at all? I wonder how they got their name. How do they choose petrified fish? It's so odd as a name. What, Aiden?
Maybe they picked things from a hat?
Maybe they just picked a name from a hat? Maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe the translation in Chinese is a little bit more interesting than English, but definitely, I mean, a solid feel. I don't know if I've said that enough yet. I would check it out. Or maybe you guys want to wait till I carry it around a little bit and we have a good I don't know if I'm going to say hard use test, but just a use test video on it. But I like what I see so far. So I'm excited to see your comments and your thoughts. Anybody that's got kind of good outdoor or EDC experience with K110 or with the brand itself, want to hear from you. Feel free to chime in. What do you guys think, though? I'm really curious how you guys are gonna respond to this. I like it. So anyway, yeah, now's your turn. I've been talking. Now you guys get to talking. And remember that you are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. And oh yeah, how's the sound? And I'll be back again real soon.